Right. So yeah, so today is about Google. So this is making the most of your content and getting your sales through Google. So as you know, if you search for something, it comes up with key phrases. That's what we've been talking about. Pretty much every day it gets brought up, going back to the SEO of Google. Just to run through a few things that you can do with Google. Have you heard of Google Alerts?
No.
I think so.
So what you can do, I'm going to try and screen share because everything's set up, so hopefully we can see it all. So what you can do, can you see that screen okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's google.com/alerts, and you can pick what email address you want to receive the notifications from, and you can put in key phrases that relate to your business so that you can keep an eye on what's going on in the news. So I follow like WordPress, social media, things like that. So if you wanted to search graphic novels, just trying to think.
And that's in your Google account, is it?
Yeah, that's in your Google account. So
Okay.
you just go
I rarely go to it.
Okay. So you just just search Google. Hi Karen.
Sorry, I'm late.
Don't worry, don't worry. Hi Rob. We've only just started, so.
Okay.
So yeah, so we're just going on to google.com/alerts. It's just a little key phrase that you can go on, and it just brings up everything related to that keyword. So if you just see the drop down, you've got all the options for how often you want to be notified about them, what region. So obviously make sure that's America.
Sorry, mine, I know I keep being really awkward on some of this stuff, but mine just comes up, if I put in google.com/alerts, it just comes up with an error.
/alerts.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
It said the requested URL was not found on this server. That's all we know, it says. Very helpfully.
Jenny, on my screen, can you see that? Can you see that? Does it look like that? Ignore the #1.
No, I can't see what, I can see your drop down menu from social media, but.
Hang on. Oh, hang on. Let's just put that in chat.
Okay.
Oh, it's not going to. Bear with me. Oh. There you go.
Oh, alerts.
Alerts.
It's got an S. It's always something silly, isn't it?
Yeah, always.
Yes, sorry, then I've got it.
Okay, so that's quite good for obviously specific things to do with your business. And it's just easy, and they just send you an email, obviously as regular as you want it. And it just means you can pick it up on the news. And it's good to get content. So if sometimes you're a little bit lost with content, it's quite good for that.
So what would, so like, for example, what would I put as, to search for alerts?
Yours would probably be golf news. And then it comes up with all of this, and you can just grab, like you could say, European tour will be radically different when golf resumes. That one, you could use that content on a blog post.
Okay.
And make contact, or you could just use this and have it, West Country family build crazy golf course in the garden. You could just have it as a bit of fun for social media.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So, sorry, I missed the beginning, Lydia. So if you just type in something that's relevant to your business, it comes up with stories that you could then repost and share.
Exactly. It's yeah. And you can just use all different keywords for what you're trying to find. And it's just an easy way to find some content, really. And it notifies you as and when you want it.
Can you change the email address that it's going to?
Yeah, you can deliver it to whichever one. I've only got that one set up, but yeah, you can set it up to wherever you want it to go to.
Okay.
It's just a little thing that I picked up a couple of years ago, and I don't think many people know about it, and it just makes life a little bit easier. And it also gives you a nudge. Like I notice when it sends it me, I go, oh yeah, I could just do that. It just gives you a nudge.
Yeah.
To just do something.
So once it's found a story that's relevant to your subject, then it just emails you.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
that's
just
really
say how often you want it to send it to you. Just be careful with generic stuff because it does bombard you.
Where do you change your email?
On the drop down it says deliver to, or the other way is to sign in through your different Google account.
Drop down. Okay, I'm a bit short on drop downs.
That's okay. You just got to make sure it is a linked. It is a Google. It's linked. The email is linked to a Google account. That's the only thing you got to make sure.
Oh right, I can't do it back to Nash.
Yeah, because Nash is linked to a Google account. So yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, I had a couple of drop-down option emails, so it's all stuff on there.
So we just have to log in through Google, Lydia?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, and just while we're on little sort of tips, the other thing is obviously when we mentioned the other day about images and grabbing images, obviously when you go onto Google and search under images, if you go onto images, just so you know, you've got your tools here, and and here my Wi-Fi. Basically, you can make it so you can use it for your usage rights. So you can change it. So you can pick labeled for use, and you can edit, or you can just use them. So that's just another little tip for if you need images. Okay. Can you see that? Is it frozen or is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Okay.
So that's just flashed up on mine with all the images of animals, but I don't know what you told me to click.
Oh no, that's fine. So that I just Googled animals and then I just clicked on tools and then just changed the usage rights. So that means any of those images I can then use.
So you clicked on tools. I still couldn't understand what you said, sorry.
Oh, sorry. So I've typed in animals and then clicked on images.
Yep.
And then gone to tools here.
Yep.
And then on here it said usage rights. And you just click on whichever one is relevant for you. But, well, you know, reuse or reuse with modification. And then you can use that. The only thing I would say when you do use that, if you're using a WordPress site, you know you've got the caption option in your box on the images in the media library. Just put in a little copyright and say where you got it from. It's just courteous. Okay.
Liddy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do it on my phone, and I've done it, but I'm putting my email in. It's saying that my email isn't valid. Why would it say that?
Which bit are you trying? Which bit are you trying to do?
Trying to do my alerts.
Yeah. So have you done it through when you go into Google? Have you set it up with your Google account?
No, that's why.
You just have to link your company email to a Google account.
Okay.
So, just a little brief tippy thing. So we're going to go into Google My Business now. You've got all these different options. Have any of you guys been, just while we're waiting for that, been using Google Drive at the moment?
A little bit.
No.
I use it for one of my training companies. They stick stuff in there.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I've noticed, I've been doing it with a lot of companies now, and it's really good for if you're trying to, obviously we're trying to write blogs together and content. It's really good for writing together or working on projects together, because you can both do the edits and things. So, and sharing the images, they've just updated it. I'll recheck it. But they've updated it now, so it just downloads all the images to a zip file as well to make it really easy. It's just something you might want to try as a different way of doing some work. Okay, so Google My Business. I'm going, Karen, are you registered? Have you got a Google My Business account?
I think it's under my husband's name, but yes.
Okay, great. So what you just want to make sure, which I noticed a few things that happen with Google My Business, is just make sure that you use a relevant company email address for your Google My Business account, just so it's separated from your personal. And I'm going to grab, okay, so obviously I've got quite a few here. If we go, so we've got groups on here. You don't need to worry about groups, but I'm just going to go to this one. Oh no, I don't want to go to that one. Okay. So you can claim your business from Maps, from Google Maps, but most of the time you should, because you're already set up, we don't really need to worry about that, so that's fine. Right, what I've noticed with Google, when I take over a new company, normally their Google My Business isn't up to date, and it's the info is the main thing, and this is because Google keeps updating and keeps giving you more options to add. So just make sure that you can go into your company details, check that the title's right, check that you've got all your options as a supplier. It used to be a couple of years ago when you set up your Google account, you could only add one like supplier service option, but now you can. And then you've also got your service areas. Make sure you, especially at the moment, just make sure all your times are up to date, because everybody is using Google to see where everybody is. You can also have a short name, which is something that's been added in the last few months. So that means if you want to share your Google profile with anybody, you just want to make sure that that is set up. And obviously your website. Products, I think you've just got to be a little bit careful with products. You can link it to a merchant center, but just, are you still linked to the Google Merchant Center?
I ain't got Scooby.
I think you are.
We tried this, didn't we? And it's like a minefield, isn't it?
Yeah, and I've set it up for other companies, but it just seems to want to just push people to promote and pay for Google Ads. It works great on Google Ads, but I just think if you're not going to pay for it, I wouldn't waste your energy on it at the moment.
I think I'm way behind with the Google, because I'm set up as Jenny Donaldson as my main one, and it's been pending verification for info at Nash Comics. I don't know for how long. I never look at the Google. This is the first time.
Okay.
So I've got to redirect it all, haven't I?
Yeah.
And change the name.
Yeah. So okay. So if you go into the, have you got the Google My Business, the Nash Google My Business there? Have you got the
Well, it's just coming up as Jenny Donaldson. Can I just change it to Nash Comics?
Should be able to.
Okay.
I don't think I've got it at all, Lid, so why just have to set it up, do I?
Yeah. It is really easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it Jenny? Sure.
Jenny, if you want to leave it with me, because you have got a Google account, because I've got your analytics. So
Okay.
don't set anything up for a minute. Just wait till you try and access it, and because I've obviously got authority somewhere.
Okay. Well, then maybe I'm using wrong logins or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so just go through your location, check everything, make sure it's all up to date. Obviously you can add different admins to it if you want to. If you need anybody to help you with it, you can add admin people to set it up with you. Make sure they're verified, which is a big thing. And Google reviews, you've just got to, any Google reviews are still taking a while to be shown on Google. They're not showing them at the moment. So although this is a great time to go and get some reviews written and ask people for reviews, they're not going to show up straight away. But I would take it, if you set up your Now, there was a new thing that Google brought out about reviews, which I will send you in an email after. It gave a link that you could just send. Before, when you requested an email review, it gave you a massive long URL. But actually, they've changed that last week or the week before, maybe. They've just changed it. So I'll find out how you get the short code for the Google review and send it.
That would make it easier for people to be able to leave one.
Exactly. So you can just send it in an email, or if you do you use MailChimp?
No.
Okay. MailChimp is fantastic for asking for reviews, just because you can do buttons or put them on an image. But yeah, if you're just doing a nice email just to one client and asking them, you can just send them the link. It's a lot easier. So, good thing with Google My Business is, if I just go back to that one, is it shows you your analytics, your organic analytics. So this is nothing that's paid for. This is purely from search engine results. So performance is all over the place at the moment. And you do have to take it slightly with a pinch of salt. At the end of the day, it's not going to be 100% accurate, but it gives you a nice idea. So we're just going on the tiles. You've got to just be careful, because at the moment, during this pandemic, your search views and map views are going to drop. So I wouldn't panic that they're dropping massively, because everybody is, but it should start picking back up again. So if we go on performance, this like little dashboard, and then we go over to insights on the left-hand side.
I can't see what you're doing, Lydia.
Oh no, is it blank?
It's got a list of companies like Ace Fitness and Personal Training and things like that.
I think it's frozen on us. Is it? If we give it a second, it should catch up.
Okay. So no, it says things, yeah, 1 month query, things like that.
Yeah, brilliant. So these are the insights that you've got. So these are your. We do it over. So I've just changed it to a quarter. Has that come up now?
It says quarter.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. So this shows you the search terms and then who's clicked through on it. So obviously the top query for the tile company in Paignton is bathroom tiles. And that's the result they've got. And then it goes down to the others. Does that make sense? Yeah. So these are your key phrases, and that's your results from those key phrases. What I find a lot is when I take on a new client, is those key phrases are most pretty irrelevant, or you find that their company name is at the top.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, that's what you've got to try and change if you can. But you have got to look at 6 months' work of doing it. It also then shows you how people have found you. Direct isn't, it's not, because in analytics, there's 2 directs. So this is direct where people have found you using your name, but on Google Analytics, it doesn't mean it that way. It means it a different way. It means it can't analyze where that data has come from. So I'm trying to say it now, because I'll say it again. It just gets a little bit confusing sometimes. Discovery. So this is how people have found you through searching for your key phrases. It explains it all there. And then your branded is when they search for like like French Connection or an actual brand, and then they find your website. So Jodie, that would be quite good for your hair.
Yeah, okay.
Your products.
Oh, for products, yeah.
Yeah.
One basic problem, why I backed away from Google, because it felt like I was trying to build the website, trying to keep the website information accurate, and the products change sort of rapidly. Keeping that all up to date, directing people to the website, and then Google was wanting me to put everything on Google.
Yeah, I think the problem is at the time, Google was pushing for Google Plus when you did that.
Yeah.
But really, Google Plus has fallen flat. Not many people use Google Plus anymore.
Right. Okay.
So I think at the time when you were doing it, that's all they were pushing for. Whereas now it's taken a little bit of a step back and it's going down on the analysis route rather than
right. So it's not affected by. It is taking notice of the website and the generic searches out there. It's not just sort of focusing on, oh, well, you didn't put it on Google, so I'm not caring. If you follow me.
No, because well, your website is set up so everything, all your content is picked up by Google regardless.
Oh right, I never knew that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so then you go further down. So this website's had 3,000 views in the last month, and it shows how it's been viewed. So whether it's on search or whether it's on maps. And then tell me if you can't see it or if it's moving to. And then going down again, these are the actions that people have made following on from seeing the search result.
When it says listing on maps, is that they search where that place?
Not necessarily. You know, at the top of Google, when you search, when you put a key phrase in, it comes up with the top list, doesn't it, of companies near you?
Yeah.
So that's what it means. It shows up on there. Now, you can never ever guarantee, well, you can't guarantee getting to the top, but you can't, those maps, search results are always random. But from my experience, what I've noticed, the more reviews you get, the higher it does seem to be better on the map results, a bit more consistent. So Google reviews, I think, are really beneficial. And if there's anything you can do in this time, it's really push for some more Google reviews.
Okay.
Okay. And then, so some people have asked for directions from here, and it says where they're from, and it shows the location on the map. This is good if you've got a local company. And then again, it shows phone calls. So who's phoned and when they phoned, and also your most popular times. Now, another thing that's picking up is obviously Google Images. Well, I say that it's depending on your business, but Nash Comics, Jodie, photos are going to be very relevant for your company. So this is the alt text that we said the other day. So Google puts up all the alt text images. So put as many as you can.
Well, put images into the alternative text.
No, so your alternative, just make sure that your alternative text is right on all your images on the website, so Google can pick it up.
Sorry, I thought alternative text is just a block where you put some words in. How?
Yeah. Yeah. But if you, so here we are. Jenny, can you see that? Can you have the images come up?
No.
Okay, 2 seconds then.
Yeah, now I can just see
These
a listing of Nash Comics.
Okay, so I'm trying to do it because I'm not sure about your alt text. We need to look at it. But you see this one. This
I've never bothered with it.
But these are all your images that have been picked up from your website or anybody else that has put Nash Comics in their alt text.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So this is why on all your products you need to put the alt text in.
Okay, so it's not really showing any of the products recently or anything.
No, but is that Halo Jones a comic?
Yeah, that's a comic, and that's recent. The rest of it is years old.
Okay, so this is Halo Jones comic.
Yeah.
That's what comes up. So you need to be up with those.
Right, so Halo Jones should have got in the alt text.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Does that make
I don't
sense?
know. Does everybody else all understand this so easily? It's just like.
Yeah, I might need to go over with you, Lids, about the alt text because I was doing it differently before, wasn't I?
Yeah. I don't panic too much that it's not perfect. As long as you've got your key phrases in there, it will pick up.
Okay.
But none of our products are like at the top. Oh, there is one, maybe two, but they're all other sort of obviously like people's reviews and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a really while you're looking at it, it's really good research to see what people are coming up, and then see how they're doing it.
How do you see what their alt text is?
You go on Sports Direct. 2 seconds. Oh, ding that. Bear with me a minute. Sorry. My thing's breathing. Didn't let me do it. You go to the website. If you click on the image and go to the website.
Yeah.
It will bring up the URL. Oh, God, this is going too slow. Right, here we are. So you see there, can you see that's their, so that's their product URL.
No, the page is still the same as it was.
Oh, hang on a minute.
I think it takes a while. There you go.
So can you see a tiger?
Yeah, and you can now see lots of comics of Halo Jones.
Oh no, you're way behind. I'm on a golf.
Okay.
Hang on.
The golf covers and comics.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we
now I
see
can
it
see
now.
a tiger. Yes, I can see a
Okay.
tiger.
So this is their product URL. Yeah. So for the product, not the image, the product. That's the URL.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not coming up.
And then in the image, it has an alt text. I've always left that blank, so I don't know how anything came up on Google.
It will
I've
have
never.
It will have picked
And you
up.
put in the alt text, you put something like Halo Jones or Tiger Golf Head.
Yeah.
It's so sweet. I want to play golf now. I've seen all these things. And now I'm interested.
Right. Okay. Does that make sense? So, for instance, like Shane, you would be doing your services, and all your images will have your service linked to those images.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Right. So it also gives you comparison to what your competitors are doing. So you want to just make sure that you are doing better than them. And that's all I would do for the minute for Google My Business, because that in itself takes up quite a bit of time. Now, so that's all organic, and I'm just going to close that down now. Okay, we're going to go into Google Analytics. Now, are you all set up on Google Analytics? Karen, are you?
Well, in my website, there's analytics. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So basically, Google Analytics. This is. I don't want to bore you to death. I'm going to just go through the overview on what's relevant on Google on here for you guys and what to keep an eye on. So, Google Analytics picks up content, hits to your website from every possible angle, effectively, whether you're advertising, social media, again, like I said before, direct, from referrals, anywhere online. So what it comes up with, it always comes up for the last week, but you can change that so it's weekly, quarterly, annually, so you can see how your business is working. You can also see, which I did with another company, you can just see really good trends. If you run it over 12 months, you can actually see oh my things doing this. Where your trends are, or where you're most popular. So once you've had it running for a while, just have a look, and you'll also, if you have a look over the last year, or you can do year on year, you can just see what's when you're most busy and when you get the most results.
I can't even find Google Analytics on my website.
It's on the dashboard.
Yeah, I know, but it's not called that, is it? It's
It's
called
called Exact Metrics now.
It's called Exact Metrics. Okay.
But it should just be on the dashboard.
Yep, got it.
Got it. Super.
You must connect.
Oh,
Shall I launch it?
yeah. The problem is, I'm just thinking, if your email account isn't linked to your Google Analytics.
Shall I just not do anything at the moment and we'll
Yeah,
sort
just
it out?
watch it to the end.
Okay, sorry.
That's all right. Okay, so this is the tile company. Now, this is going to be a little, and again, everybody's analytics are going to be a little bit all over the place at the moment. But as you can see, in the last week, they've had 566 hits to the website, 665 sessions. So that can be people going back to it. Their bounce rate is 44%. Now, bounce rate, if you speak to marketing companies, they will say your bounce rate needs to be between like 20 and 40% depending on your sector. But I really think that's a tough call at the moment. Like, there's so many bots online that are crawling through your site trying to get data, that the bounce rate is going to be quite high. I think if it goes above 50% really, then that's something to look at and just check. But I'll show you later how you can make sure that there's no site errors.
So the bounce rate on theirs has gone down by 22%.
Yes.
Okay.
Theirs went up because they had just a few issues, and also it was from a Google ad that we were doing, and we did it on impressions, and it put it on all the, you know, like the gaming things, you know, like on your phone, you know, like Bejeweled and Candy Crush, you know, all the adverts, and it did like 1 million impressions on all these like YouTube channels and things that were completely irrelevant. So the bounce rate went up massive. So
It's gone up 14%, so that's not too bad, I guess.
14?
Yeah.
No, that's fantastic.
Wow.
Bounce rate of 34.48%.
Yeah.
Lydia,
Yeah.
sorry, can you just explain what sessions and bounce rate mean again? I'm
Yeah.
not quite with it.
No, that's fine. So users, that's the number of visits to your website.
Yeah.
Sessions are the number of visits to your website in total for that week. So that includes people going backwards and forwards.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah. Your bounce rate is when somebody has gone onto the site and come off it straight away. But
Right,
that
within a certain time scale, is that? Like
sorry.
within a certain time scale,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they've gone on and come off within like 10 seconds or something.
Exactly, yes. So if they go on and then they just come straight off it because it's irrelevant to them. But it can also be bots that are going on to crawl for data, you know, for data capture.
Okay.
And then obviously your session duration is how long they spend on the site.
And that's the total users combined, isn't it?
Yeah, for that week.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the users, is that unique users, or so that's individual people?
Yeah, individual. And it shouldn't pick up your visits either.
I was about to ask that.
Shouldn't. Okay, so then we've got, how do we find them? And as you can see, you've got these channels. So organic, it picks up what is, how your little graph there, it just picks up what's the most popular and then changes the blues accordingly. So you've got organic, paid, social media, direct, which is, as I mentioned earlier, isn't direct. Google My Business searches it. It's Google direct, as in they're not actually sure where that's come from. Plus people go into the site because they know it, but they just can't, they don't know the source. Then you can see here, which is where it's come from. So organic, cost per click, so AdWords, direct or no URL, Facebook, and then other. And referrals are your referral sites. But this could be like Reddit, a HR related website that you've got posts in, or, you know, it could be from a commute, like if you're on, like for the Stride on Knee Walkers, we do get onto something called Silver Surfers and Mumsnet. And obviously that's a good referral site. Okay. Then you've got active users. So this is just basically the same as the top one. It just shows it over 30 days, and then you can compare it like on a week, monthly, week and daily basis. I'm just going to move you over. And then here is your retention. So depending on your company, so if you've got like a slow sales process, if people take a long time to make a decision on your product or service, which, to be fair, what we find with this tile company is people go on and they sort of either buy or they come back a little bit later, but majority they buy straight away. But you'll see that we still get a few people coming back week on week to have a look. Having said that, you just got to be careful because that can be competitors as well. Then you can see when users site, so what time of day, when it's most popular. So some crazy people are looking at this site at like 12 o'clock in the morning. You just got to watch that's not abroad. Which brings me on to the bounce rate as well. It is a lot of, if your site is being picked up by other countries, it's just something to look at. Riviera Mortgages, for instance, they're in Torbay, but there's actually another company in America called Riviera Mortgages. So that gets picked up quite a lot over there.
Oh.
So obviously their bounce rate is high. Okay, so that's that. This is how people search on devices. So 56% are mobile, then desktop and tablet. It's always going to be more on mobile nowadays. And then this is the good bit, which I like, is the pages. So you can see what pages have been hit and how many people have hit it. And I'm just going to click on the pages report. So this is really good if you're doing a campaign. So you're running your campaign, you've done your landing page, or you've done your MailChimp, or you've done something and you want to see if it's worked or not. And then you can see how many hits you've got to that page. Just let me know when you see it. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So obviously their shop is the biggest hit, but that's because we have Google Ads on there as well with that URL. And you can see that page views and then unique page views, how long people spend on it, how they've got into it. So the entrances, that's when they've gone straight to the page. The bounce rate again, and then if they've spent anything. But this is really good.
What's the second one where it hasn't got a URL or title?
That's the home page.
Oh, right, okay. It's the same on ours.
Yeah, so that's your home page. So that's really good. So we know, so for tiles, we know that kitchen, bathroom and flooring are our top things to focus on. But to be fair, that is what we're pushing at the moment as well. But for instance, Adam, when you launch yours, it'd be good to launch your rugs first of all as a campaign.
Yeah.
And you can see the response that you get, and that's where you're, you know, last week we were talking about split A/B marketing. This is where you can see results as well. So if you want to do your rugs, but you could also do rugs and your tables, for instance, and you can see what gets the most hits. Or if you're doing offers, you can see which gets the most results. The other thing that's really good on here is behavior flow. Now this is a little bit complicated. It doesn't make sometimes. What you can see is where people have started on the site, where they've landed, and then where they've gone to. So they've gone from, so they've landed on the shop, and then you can see, you can highlight the traffic and it will show you where they've gone. Can you see that?
No, it's still loading.
Okay. Is it there?
No.
Oh no.
Yes, there it is. Oh,
Right.
weird.
Yeah, so can you see that?
Yeah.
So it shows where they land and then where you lose them.
Is that like one of them snakes where you got to follow it around and see where it ends up out the other side? I need my finger for this one. It'll like work across the page.
So yeah, and you can explore it, but just have a play around because it's quite interesting. You can see that. And the other thing you can do is obviously see your audience. So you can see age, male or female, where they live, what their behaviour's like. You can see all sorts on here. It's gone really, my Wi-Fi's gone really slow now.
That's a day gone just looking for that.
Okay, so there's quite a lot that you can do. And it tells you, it just tells you everything you sort of need to know. I just wouldn't take it completely, you know, it's going to give you a nice bit of data, but it's not going to be 100% accurate. So I wouldn't panic too much if, you know, if you see massive drops, and especially at the moment. Okay.
Yeah, Lydia, I've got that on my phone.
Yeah.
It doesn't show all that though. It just shows bits and bobs. But do I have to then go on the internet and get on the internet?
Yeah, probably.
Because I've got an app. Mine's an app on my phone.
Yeah, it will probably be limited. So I would go through and do it on a desktop if you can.
Right. Okay. So a laptop will do it.
Yeah, or go on Safari on your phone.
Oh, okay. And it will go, just type in Google Analytics and come up.
Yeah, and sign in.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
And then you just get all of it then.
Okay, brilliant. Okay.
Okay. So the other thing which I know, is anybody doing Google Ads at the moment?
No.
No. Google Ads are great if you want to get a quick result. But you've just got to be very careful when you set up Google Ads because, like I said the other day, you can end up with impressions going everywhere just for Google to get an impression result rather than actually a click-through rate and a conversion rate. If you're going to do Google Ads, the best way that I found is doing it with, they've got what's called a smart campaign option now. And if you do it through a smart campaign, it picks up your URL and it uses the key phrases from your website, and then it sort of does the job for you, and you just create a nice ad. And I would try that. You need to be spending about £5 a day to get a result for our level of businesses, I would have said. The only thing you've got to check is your competitors. You know, like for tiles, for instance, we're trying to compete with like Tops Tiles, and their spend is £2,000 a month on Google Ads. So it's very difficult to compete, hence why it's trying to come up with a different angle, different key phrases, and try and really hit what people like the kitchen tile trends, blue tiles, that go in that interior design route rather than going in on a tile mounting sort of shop style. So it's just something to consider when you're doing your Yoast SEO and your blogs. Okay, so something just so you can see what you can do as well. This is Google Web Search Console. So all your sites, we built them, a link to this. And what this does is show us how it's performing more on a technical side than your size, small, like, so what it does, it come up with coverage, make sure you've got a sitemap and that's up to date, and the speed and any page errors. So you can just check on your performance. We can check your URLs that are working right, and it also comes up with how it works on a mobile. So it's just, from our point of view, it's just a bit more of a technical side that we've got access to your websites. So if you think, because the big thing with Google at the moment is site speed, so we need to make sure that all the sites are up to speed and there isn't anything. What can make websites slow are image sizes, which is what we found on this site. Is if you upload your product images and they're bigger than 2,500 pixels at some diameter, then that can start, if you've got several of them, then obviously that can start slowing it down. Hence why I go on about image sizes a bit.
Okay.
Okay. And yeah, so that tells me every month I get sent a report on your websites, just telling me how they're performing and if there's any errors or glitches that we need to do. And at the moment, nobody's got any issues. I think that is it, really. So,
Is there a time I can contact you to sort out the correct Google info one and get the exact metrics so I can see it?
yeah. Can we do that? Can I do that later today? Is that all right?
Yeah, I'm probably going out about 3:30.
Okay. What I'll do is I should just be able to link it. I'll tell you what email address it's linked to.
Okay. Okay. Whatever I need to do. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions? I think with Google Analytics, you just need to go into it and have a look. Every company will be different. So Shane, because yours is new, yours will be quite low. Mm-hmm. So from your point of view, I would try and look at creating some more pages and URLs and trying to get it out more on social media. Mm-hmm. If it's possible, really. You just try, LinkedIn will be your best bet with your key phrases. Yeah. Because then you'll see your hits. You'll see the results because your page hits will get a lot higher quickly. So I'd try that. And then Google Analytics will start making more sense once you start looking at it. I look at Google Analytics every day for the e-commerce sites because then you can react quickly to them. But you probably want to look at them weekly.
Lovely, thanks, Lydia.
Is that all right? So no questions, we're all right?
No, that's brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks.
If you, I think, yeah, it's just give me a shout if you need anything outside of that. Let me just stop the screen share a minute. No, cancels. Share. Brilliant. Yeah, if you need anything, just give me a shout.
So I'll look at mine when Malcolm's done the update, shall I?
Yeah, he's just a bit delayed at the minute. But he is on it. He is on it. Yeah, so tomorrow is, what's tomorrow? Live stream.
Thursday.
Live streaming. I think that's just going to be a quick overview. Just say, you know, looking at different options really. Facebook, YouTube. YouTube is really good. They've just brought out a live option. So if you've got a YouTube channel, you just need to go on there and make sure that you're set up to do YouTube live because it takes 24 hours to set it up. If we're not bothered about the live streaming, I can do it the marketing.
So I ought to set up a YouTube channel, hadn't I?
Definitely.
Okay.
Do I need to do it? I mean, it's just...
Jenny, is it quite easy?
You know, it's just everything sort of absorbs in about 10 other passwords that you've got to remember, and logging on and doing it and then looking at what, you know, it's just, yeah, it's just hard.
It is. I think what would be really good, maybe just trying to think how I'm going to do it, but I think at some point we do need to do like an hour on maybe just marketing strategy.
Well, we were supposed to do our month strategy, wasn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, Jenny,
Oh, Jenny, you've let it slip.
you're a grasping snitch, aren't you?
Teachers,
Peter.
One word, sold some books. That was as far as that was.
But I wonder if we just run through one together, where we just do one together and we all just do it, and then we can chat about what has worked, what hasn't worked, you know, and put one together. Only a very rough outline of one.
Yeah.
It starts to make sense, and so everything that we're talking about ties together.
yeah.
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 Would you rather do that tomorrow than the live streaming?
Yeah, well, I probably would, but
I think I would as well, because otherwise it's just another thing to try and get on board with and do something and see whether it works. And
yeah, I think
I
it'd be
seem to be going slower and slower. I don't know why.
okay. And I think that'd be more beneficial for you, Adam, and Shane, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll change it and we'll do it as a marketing strategy then.
especially for you, Shane, if obviously we're going to have a bit of an announcement how much longer we're locked down for, aren't we?
Yes.
Are we?
Well, by Thursday. So
Really?
interesting for your new thing as to when you think you'll be getting in and using it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think there will be an update soon. I've got 2 machines arriving from China apparently in 3 days' time. So yeah, I'm going to test drive them out. I've got a couple of clients who have agreed to let me use their premises whilst nobody's there. But as soon as that's happened, I want to start plugging and make a video and start touting this service out, really, the fogging, disinfectant fogging.
Yeah. Yeah, with people getting back to work, that's going to be quite key, isn't it?
Yeah.
You think that's what it's going to be, that they're lifting it?
No,
No.
I think it'll be another 3 weeks.
No,
Okay.
but I think it will give us an idea maybe as to when.
It'd be really good to have some idea. Really would.
I think laws have pretty much been relaxed in a lot of European countries, haven't they? I think in certain places. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see.
I think we're in for another 3 weeks, and then maybe. Personally, I think to the end of May, really, things will start easing up a bit.
And then we're all going to get it.
Yeah.
I think it's inevitable.
Okay, so we'll do marketing strategy tomorrow. Forget the live streaming, which is good because I'd rather not do that anyway. And
Now we know.
yeah, no. So before tomorrow, then,
Yeah.
I think of a campaign. What you want to focus on over the next month. So not just sales, because I appreciate.
Jenny's done hers, sell more books.
Yeah.
So are you going to focus on? Are you going to focus on graphic novels, or are you going to focus on a specific? Do you want to focus on one product, or do you want to focus on a category? Yeah. And what has worked in the past, or how you normally get it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So if we can all just think of that, so at least then we come to it with a bit of an idea. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay. If you need anything, just give me a shout.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
See you tomorrow.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Lydia.